I have something of a fascination with social archetypes. There was this little they did this experiment I read about in this book, The Lucifer Principle by Howard Bloom. I read about this experiment that these scientists did. They would observe these ants, right? And they noticed that some ants were really industrious, really hard-working ants, and they noticed that some other ants were very lazy and not very productive at all to the colony, just kind of, didn't really do much. So what they did was they took the really productive ants and they took the really lazy ants and they isolated them into their own unique colonies, and they found that a portion of the lazy ants started becoming hard-working ants, and a portion of the hard-working ants, the industrious ants, became lazy ants. It seems like in nature, in any social structure, there are natural roles that we all fill. And I think that the role of the angry, visceral atheist is very important. I think that the role of the can't we all get along atheist like yourself is important. I think that we need a lot of different approaches to the problem. I think that none of us really. I don't think any atheist really works as a single unit. Not even the great Mr. Dawkins, who you so arrogantly call arrogant. But I think we all have a different role to play as far as this whole atheism thing goes. I think that I am on the far end of the spectrum. I am someone who's not afraid to display anger, someone who is very raw, very emotional, and I think that gets a lot of people's attention. It's cathartic for a lot of atheists who feel repressed and who feel as if their opinions aren't being said enough. They feel that they don't have a voice, and they're angry about it. And I am one of the manifestations of that anger. I think Captain No Awesome is another manifestation of that anger. And we have very intellectual atheists like Gisborne 2000. We have very what I would consider compassionate atheists like yourself and Aborted Soul. So we have a wide variety, I think, of atheists, and I think that we all serve a specific purpose in this cultural movement, or whatever you want to call it. I think that I am someone who rallies a lot of the atheists together. I think a lot of people, feel how I feel, and they don't know how to express it, or they feel like they're unable to express it in their day-to-day lives. And that's what I think the appeal of my videos is. And I think that I also serve to make more moderate atheists like yourself more palatable to the Christian mainstream and the whole religious mainstream in general. I think that people will come around to atheism. I think that our victory, whatever you want to call it, is probably inevitable. I think that it takes a lot of different components. I don't think that we need to unite under one banner or one approach. I think that there is a place for all of us and all of our different approaches to this subject matter. And you might not think that it is rational, or you might not think it makes any sense for me to do what I'm doing. And I might not think that you might not agree with my approach, and I might not agree with yours, but I think that we're both part of a larger mechanism here, and that mechanism works better if you believe what you believe and I believe what I believe. And I think that it's important. I think that both of our roles are important, and I think that the role of the Christians, both the moderate Christians, the hardcore Christians, the Islamic, the Muslims, the Buddhists, the Taoists, the pagans, I think we all have a specific role to play in the larger scheme of things. and I think that a new social order is perpetually dawning. And I think that the age of faith and irrational belief is reaching its final chapter. And I think that we are the early stages of that, and I hope that what you're doing and what I'm doing and what Gisborne 2000 is doing and what Aborted Soul is doing and what Chadegg is doing and what all of the other atheists on YouTube are doing are making progress towards that goal, even if we don't have the same approach, or even if we don't even all work towards that specific agenda. I think that is ultimately what our function will be, and I have nothing but the utmost respect. The only thing that I really complained about in your video, well, two things. One was when you called Mr. Dawkins arrogant. I don't think that he's arrogant at all. I think that I'm probably biased because he's definitely one of my heroes. And the other thing was that you got my name wrong, which I picked Amazing Atheist because I thought that such a cool little alliteration would be very easy for people to remember, but so far it seems like people have difficulty with it for some reason. Anyway, much respect, and thank you very much for doing that video. I enjoyed it, and I enjoy all your videos, which I've just really been introduced to a few days ago. Anyway, thank you very much, and I appreciate you bringing this up, and I think that it is something worth discussing. Peace.